Learning video editing, just like every other skill in life, can be difficult. I mean, hell, I've been doing this since I was 12 years old. I'm 22 now, so that's 10 years of me trying a bunch of and for me to only start getting a little good at it. I attribute the first 5 years or so of me not being great at it to me being just a dumb kid. I was actually a pretty smart kid, but the critical thinking and general life experience I needed to be a good editor would come much later. In other words, I was a dumb kid. But while I didn't have the technical knowledge of editing understood by my undeveloped brain, what I did have was a philosophy that really helped me to learn editing that I would lose around the age of 18, only to regain now that I'm in my early 20s. And if I were to put this philosophy in a single phrase, it would be this: favoring process-based goals over outcome-based goals. And this is something we naturally do as kids. If you think about it, kids are very good at living in the present, something many adults just aren't able to do. Kids aren't exactly known for mulling over the past or contemplating the uncertainty of their futures like adults are known to, which means that their goals are also more bound to the present. When I was making my very first YouTube video with my best friend in the summer of 2014, I wasn't thinking about building an audience and gaining AdSense and the growth of my channel over the years. I was just making a fun YouTube video with my friend. Simple as. Now, as an adult, the former goal seems much more productive and worth our time, but the latter is actually better for learners. So let's switch this goal out and replace it with another goal. Say, I'm going to edit the perfect video. This is something we have more direct control over, but it's still not a great goal for learners. Or anyone really. I mean, what is a perfectly edited video anyways? The amount of times I've written, recorded, and spent several days editing a video for that video to take so long that the content I had envisioned for this channel no longer matched the content of the video is embarrassing. And the reason I spent so long editing these videos is because I needed every edit to be perfect, which meant watching a ton of overly advanced tutorials to make overly advanced After Effects projects, which didn't really teach me anything because I wasn't actually understanding what I was doing. I was just following a tutorial step by step. So I initially created this channel for the purpose of having Canva tutorials, and I was editing together the YouTube trailer for it, and I thought of the idea of having a series called Deep Dives, and I wanted to make a title card for that, so I watched this After Effects tutorial to make this. And it does look cool, but I didn't actually learn anything from it, and I spent 5 hours doing it. What would have been a more productive use of my time is practicing what I already know, the essentials. So you might be going, okay, so I'm not supposed to watch tutorials. How am I supposed to learn video editing? Don't you make tutorials yourself? And just like every deep, seemingly impossible question to answer, Jimmy Beast has the answer. Okay, I said that as a joke, but listen to this clip because it's actually pretty great advice.
A lot of people get analysis paralysis and they'll just sit there and they'll plan their first video for 3 months. Your first video is not going to get views, period. It's not. So stop sitting there and thinking for months and months on end and just get to work and start uploading. All you need to do is make 100 videos and improve something every time. Do that. And then on your 101st video, we'll start talking.
How do you improve something each time?
The second one, just, I don't know, put more effort into the script. The third one, try to learn a new editing trick. The fourth one, try to figure out a way that you can have better inflections in your voice. The fifth one, try to, study a new thumbnail tip and implement it. The sixth one, try to figure out a new title. There's infinite ways. That's the beauty of content creation online. There's literally infinite ways, from the coloring to the frame rate, to the editing, to the filming, to the production, to the jokes, to the pacing, to every little thing can be improved, and they can never not be improved. There's literally no such thing as a perfect video.
Now, Jimmy Beast is a very outcome-driven person. He's definitely CEO pilled, and he said before that having a steep retention graph means that your video is bad. It's not because the video might be too niche for general audiences or have a slightly slower pace than audiences are used to. It's just bad content. So, is Fast and the Furious better than all of these movies because this one made $1.5 billion and these ones made not that? Some would say yes, most would say no, and I'd say that's exactly something Mr. Beast would say. Anyways, what Mr. Beast is saying in this clip is a very outcome-driven goal, as it's about how to get bigger on YouTube. It also applies to our process-based goal of learning. So let's change our goal one last time, and it'll be a little wordier, but just bear with me for a second. Let's say our goal is to do our current best to edit videos consistently while learning small things on the way. I know it's wordy, but let me break it down. Do our current best to edit videos consistently. Currently and consistently being the key words here. What I mean by current best is what we know how to do in the editing program. You shouldn't be looking up tutorials for every single little edit you want to make, because you don't really learn that much that way. You're better off practicing what you already know. And that's what I mean by consistency. Consistently practice. And this part of the goal seems like it contradicts this whole part, but it's actually an exception. Like Jimmy said, if you improve one thing each video, you'll see vast improvements from video 1 to video 100. The action of wanting to make an edit, not knowing how to do it, and looking it up to do it is what I call a research edit. And I limit myself to only have one of these each video I make. You can have 2 or 3, but don't go overboard or else you'll end up like me 2 months ago with this stupid project. I have a series on my TikTok where each day is one day where I find a new way to speed up my editing workflow. And if you watch through them, you'll see that each video is better than the last. Like day 1 absolutely sucks, and that's fine. But the ironic meta twist of this series is that each video has a new technique to be a better editor, which I implemented in each video. In other words, my own videos were helping me become a better editor. And if I'm already very familiar with whatever technique I'm making a video on, I'll look into improving something completely unrelated. Maybe I'll learn how to standardize this edit or use this tool that I never learned but has been staring at me since day 1. This way you acquire the metaphorical and literal tools of video editing gradually, which is much more productive than watching a 4-hour Premiere Pro tutorial and not understanding why you can't edit like Linus Tech Tips immediately. No shade to this video at all, by the way. This is actually one of the best videos on YouTube, but if your idea of starting Premiere Pro from scratch is to watch this video, you might as well read the entire dictionary to come up with the most intricate, sophisticated words to form the most complex sentence to call yourself a clown. That was so stupid, I don't even know why I wrote that.